Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. These are epic picks number 6. I think we're at number 6 if I'm not mistaken. And this request is from so we're gonna use his YouTube name because we have too many people with the same first name. So this is VMAX for Steve. VMAX for Steve, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I appreciate it. And today we're gonna do some what are we gonna do? We're gonna I didn't know because VMAX for Steve gave me actually a choice to choose, and I just did some Santana and I wanted to add more Gary Moore, so he gave me Gary Moore, The Loner live at the Hammersmith, which by the way I've downloaded already. I didn't want to play the YouTube file because if we get an ad that it might be at the best, you know, a part of the soul, and then we suddenly get an ad, and I didn't want that to happen. So I downloaded the file on MP3. I got it, very good quality, but I had to choose between one legend and another legend, Gary Moore or Santana. I did pick Gary Moore because we already recorded some Santana, Alexia and I, just the other day, which you guys are gonna love. It's a Santana with this amazing band from Argentina. It's gonna blow you guys away. So that's why I had to go with this one, Gary Moore, the Loner live, and you know Gary Moore live, you know that's a different level. So we have it right here, and this song is 12 minutes and 28 seconds, so it is in the epic range. Thank you again so much, VMAX, if it's okay if I call you VMAX for this awesome request, and also for all the other cool requests. We did a Bebop Deluxe marathon that was amazing. So again, thank you so much. So without further ado, let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Like the video, dislike the video, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever you like, whatever you feel like doing, that should do. And overall have fun, of course. So here we go with I'm gonna play this, of course, on my I was gonna say VHS player. No, it's called the VLC. The VLC player. If you don't know this player, it's an amazing player. Plays almost every file that you can think of. I've used it for years. So here we go. And Gary Moore, The Loner, live at the Hammersmith Odeon. Here we go. Just give it a second. Okay. Okay. Wow, this guy. I mean, Gary Moore. It. I had an a CD which was the best of, and I think the track I loved the most was, what was it called? I think I still got the blues or something, but and his, I mean, his playing is epic, and it's a ballad, and I love the singing. But this is like next level. This, like, I've been listening to some, obviously because of marathons and because of Thin Lizzy, and I've heard some really crazy Gary Moore, but he's just like, he's so fast. And I mean, yes, there's faster and stuff like that, but it's not about that. I love that he has this really amazing technique, but he has also a lot of feel. When he does a bend, he bends it for days, you know, it goes on. And there's a certain amount of like a yearn, you know, yes, it's like there's a certain amount of sadness in this playing, you know, and the way he expresses himself, the whammy bar, how he uses that, everything on this guitar is very organic. You can feel it, you can see it. The picture that was actually that I downloaded this file from was so like, there's so much feel in that, you know. I hope it's not too loud. It's very loud. It could be because of the file. I mean, I did lower the volume like 3 times because I was like, oh god, people are going deaf at this moment. So just be, you know, considerate, lower the volume a little bit. You know, I've lowered the volume here. For me, it is a very loud file. Just be cautious. I don't want you to be going deaf. But it is what it is. You know, it's very expressive. It's an amazing solo. I love, you know, how he holds that vibrato, and how he holds his notes. And when he goes into, you know, rapid, you know, like descend or, you know, scale, beautiful playing, beautiful backing track as well. I mean, the band, you know, really lays it down for him so he can just go nuts over it. Beautiful. So let me just look. I'm at the normal volume. Let's just leave it this way, but let's continue now that he stopped for a second. And what a player, honestly. I mean, what a talented man. Also, I mean, not just an amazing shredder before all the other shredders, you know, like it reminds me a little bit of course, like, you know, like Yngwie Malmsteen or Marty Friedman, but he has like a different, he has more like a bluesy approach to it. So I think he must have been causing shock waves through the guitar world when he was releasing this, because I mean, I don't know any other player, you know, except like Randy Rhoads maybe, or Yngwie Malmsteen in the 80s. I'm talking about the 80s. I don't know that much about 70s players that were fast, you know, maybe Ritchie Blackmore, Van Halen and stuff like that, you know. But this is like a different level. It's very quick, and it's very, there's a lot of distortion, you know, in his tone. And so I don't know. You guys let me know who else was playing like this, and without mentioning the people that I mentioned, you know, because I think Van Halen was sticking more to his exceptional rhythm guitar playing, his tapping. That was his thing, you know. His solos were short but very smart. It was more about, you know, the song and not so much about the solo. This is more an instrumental, and I don't think Van Halen was an instrumental guitar player. Of course, I mean, if you hear Eruption, one of the most, you know, impressive displays of guitar ever, or Yngwie Malmsteen, like if you listen to Far Beyond the Sun, I mean, everything he does on there is like just incredibly amazing for the time. Nobody had really done it before, you know, those sweeping arpeggios, the diminished arpeggios, the lines, you know, the classical phrasing and everything. But this is so different because it's more blues based, that it has that pentatonic scale feel, and, you know, the blues scale, and also those bends. It's just a beautiful thing, you know. And I think he's the only one that I know that has a more of a blues vibe, but it's also a complete shredder. Really wonderful, really good to listen to, because other players they basically base their style more on classical music, like Randy Rhoads or Ingrid Malmsteen, or I don't know, Jason Becker, stuff like that, Michelangelo, and so yeah. So this is very, very cool to hear. So we got another 7 minutes of Gary Moore, so I can't wait. But so far, amazing display of talent, and just an amazing display of, he owns that instrument, you know, he squeezes the last drop out of it. All right, be careful here. I'm gonna press play. I don't want you to get like, be careful with your ears. We're gonna go back. 1, 2. Beautiful bass. Harmonics. The volume swell, beautiful. Beautiful clean tone here. Jesus. Jesus. The palm muting here. My lord. Wow. Amazing, amazing player. It says here Moore was often described as a virtuoso and has been cited as an influence by many other guitar players. He was voted as one of the greatest guitarists of all time on respective lists by Total Guitar and Louder. Irish singer-songwriter Bob Geldof, from The Wall, I remember him, said that without question Moore was one of the great Irish bluesmen. Wonderful, man. I was reading along a little bit about his life, and that he got, unfortunately got attacked very young, and that kind of like scarred his face and also kind of like changed him, and you could hear that in his playing, like what I was talking about. There is a certain kind of like desperation in the music and sadness and longing and stuff like that. I hear that in a lot of people's playing, but this guy, man, he is just amazing. And I didn't know that he had died so young, 58. He would be in his early 70s now, but unfortunately, it was alcohol, and that's just, another reason why I don't drink. I haven't had a drink in, my God, like 16 years. Like, yeah, I was just a very wee lad, how they say, I guess. A wee lad? Yeah. I mean, Alexa's never seen me drink not even a drop of alcohol. It's just like that's how we met, and I've never had a beer, and I didn't have a drinking problem. I just decided not to go that route because of my father. He was an alcoholic, and it was just like, I have to be extra careful, So yeah, it is what it is. This was beautiful, beautiful display of guitar, knowledge and feel and technique and everything, mixed together. What a wonderful display. Instrumental music is very powerful. That's my go-to. It's my jam, instrumental music. I think I'm very loud. Let me just put this a little further away. But yeah, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for this awesome pick. I guess, I picked it myself, but thank you for letting me choose between these two legends, because Santana, I mean, obviously is also in the same ballpark as this man. I think Santana doesn't, he plays a little bit with more, I guess as expressive, but Santana doesn't dwell too much on speed. He doesn't, I guess he doesn't really have to. Nobody has to. It's a personal taste that you do or you don't. Some players like to play fast. Some players like to play very slow. Some use it for dramatic purpose, you know, like for example Gary Moore, you know, I mean he's obviously capable of playing something very, very slow and emotional, and then he uses, you know, these fast runs because it's like it's getting from one note to the other in a very dramatic fashion. And I think speed can be used for that. It's very dramatic when you use it the right way. Now if you play the entire song, you know, then it can get very, very boring very, very quickly. And so I love that, you know, he mixes it up, and it's just a wonderful thing. Again, thank you so much for this awesome request. This was awesome, and I hope we can do it again. Thank you so much again, VMAX, for this awesome request. And let me know, guys, is this the first time you've heard this track, this live track by Gary Moore? If you have, let us know. What do you think of Gary Moore as a guitar player, as a musician, all this good stuff? Comment below, let us know. And if you like the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.